Hey you guys, welcome back here to My Table of Three. If you're new to my kitchen, my name is Carrie and I'm so glad to have you stop by today. Today's video is just going to be a really quick video on a special thing that I wanted to share with you. It is a part of a collaboration called Saucy September. It is hosted by Ginger over at Not For Nothing Homestead, and I am thrilled to be a part of it. I'll tell you more about that at the end of this video. But basically, we're all going to be sharing homemade sauces and different things that will help get you through the holidays, maybe inspire some new sauces around your table. So today I thought I would show you how simple it is to replace something that we often buy at the grocery store. I know many people, I don't usually buy a lot of it, but I know a lot of people do, especially going into the holidays, for casseroles and different things like that. And that is condensed soups, like cream of chicken, cream of mushroom, cream of celery. So technically, maybe it's not a sauce, but I thought it would be so fun to show you how easy it was to make these cream of soups at home, so you can avoid buying those cans at the grocery store. Not only will it save you money because you can make it for pennies on the dollar compared to buying the cans, but it also will save you from all that long list of ingredients that we may not want to consume on the back of those cans. So stick with me, let's jump in. I'm going to show you how easy it is to make cream of mushroom soup and cream of celery soup. So let's get started.
All right, so we're going to get started making this first cream of soup. So basically, there are three kinds of soups that I have in my recipe that's linked below. So don't worry about trying to keep up because that is linked below. You can go down, click on the link to my blog, and then you can open which one of these soups you want, or all three of them, and print them out. So they all start with a base of 6 tablespoons of butter. The first one we're going to do is one of my favorites. It is cream of mushroom soup. So I am using 6 ounces of button mushrooms. These are just the brown kind that I've cleaned up and then I chop small. If you have people that don't like the texture of mushrooms, you could always blitz these in a food processor. Okay, so I'm also going to put a little bit of salt on here because that will help the moisture in the mushrooms, because it's a lot of water. It will help draw that out as well. So now what you're going to do is you're going to saute these mushrooms. And set this over here. We're going to let some of that moisture cook out because the main thing is you want some of the water that's in the mushrooms to cook out because you don't want them to water down your cream of soups like cream of mushroom. So for this, you're going to need chicken stock for all of these soups. I'm actually going to use a turkey stock because this is what I have from last year when I canned it. You can see my lovely 4-jar lids because I absolutely adore those. And I'll let you hear the seal. Let's see, I have a mic on. Let's see if I can hear that. Okay, it's on so tight. Let's make sure you can hear it. You hear it. There we go. So a pop means it smells so rich. You can tell by the color that it's got a lot of nutrients in it. I did it low and slow, and then I canned it last year after I got some after Thanksgiving. And so you can see now where there's moisture. There's more than just the bottom and butter in the bottom of this pan. It's actually the water cooking out, and that's what you want. And we're just going to saute this for a few more minutes until most of that cooks out. And then what we're going to do is we are going to move on after that's ready, and we're going to start our roux process, which is going to be flour. I'm using unbleached white flour, wheat flour. You can absolutely do this gluten-free and dairy-free. In my recipe blog that I posted, the link to below, you'll be able to tell that I give you tips for making this gluten-free as well as dairy-free. But I will tell you now, you can absolutely use a gluten-free flour mixture. Do a 1-for-1, like Bob's Red Mill 1-for-1. If you need to be gluten-free, and it will work just fine. Or whatever. You can also use arrowroot or cornstarch if you want to avoid wheat if you can't have gluten. So this is almost ready. We're going to let this go ahead and cook some more. Once this is ready for me to put in actually, I think it's getting close. So let's just keep going for a second. Okay, so this is good. We just got the butter left in there. Only takes a few minutes. So now we're going to add our thickener, which is going to be the unbleached flour or whatever you use. And this is a 2 tablespoon measure I'm using. So I started out with 6 tablespoons of butter. You're going to use the same amount of your thickener or your flour. So that's 2, 4, 6. Remember, we are doing a cream of soup, which is basically a replacement for those cans of soups that we all like to use in our holiday recipes and in everyday casseroles as well. I just don't like buying the cans because I don't like the plastic liner that's in the can, so I try and avoid canned foods at all costs. If you don't, that is totally fine. We each are on our own journey to provide and cook for our family, so no shame in that. But this is a great way. Say if you like those canned soups but you can't get to the store, this is a great way to be able to whip it up, because most of us have this stuff on hand. Even if you don't have the mushrooms, you could do like a cream of chicken with just the chicken broth and maybe some poultry seasoning or some chunks of chicken, cream of chicken. All right, so as this flour is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and add in some garlic powder, some black pepper, and I do add just a little bit of poultry seasoning. And then I'm going to cook this around. Woo, I inhaled that black pepper. Note to self, don't stay so close to the pan when you're using black pepper. Okay, so you don't need to cook this all the way through. You're just cooking the rawness out of the flour. So we're going to let that go a couple more minutes, or actually a couple more seconds. Okay, so now we got that. Now we're going to add in our chicken stock, our turkey stock. You're going to do 1 cup. And you're going to stir. Okay. That's good. I think I'm going to add 1.5 cups here. And then you're going to stir that around. And then I'm going to add 1 cup of heavy cream. You can use any milk product you'd like to, but the cream just is going to make it extremely thick and rich. All right. So now you're going to stir this in really good so that the flour dissolves into the cream and the broth and that it starts to thicken up. So again, follow the recipe in the link below and you'll be able to make all 3 soups: cream of chicken, cream of mushroom, and cream of celery. And you'll be all set for the holidays. I know this isn't your average or your typical sauce like the others are doing in the, I'm going to turn this down real quick, in this saucy September, but I asked Ginger if she thought this would be good, because, you know, it is about making sauces that you can use in your kitchen and for the upcoming holidays, and she said it would be great. So I was thrilled because I was working on these for my blog, and I thought, hey, I want to share that information with everybody out there because it's so helpful when you can just make these at home. And basically, guys, you're just going to cook this up and let it get thick, and then you can taste it and see if you need to add any more seasoning. So look at that, how rich and thick that's going. And I did it in this, you can do it in a small saucepan. It comes together really fast in like 10 or 15 minutes at the most, but it will just thicken up. And once it's thick and the flour, the rawness is cooked out, you are ready to go. Look at that. Doesn't that look like that canned soup that you get? Look at that. Yeah, so I'm going to taste it really quick. I'm going to season it a little bit more. This does need a little bit more pepper and a little bit more salt from my liking. And just to let you know, I don't put a lot of salt in my chicken broth. So if you're using store-bought, make sure you get the low sodium or that you watch the salt level that you're adding. All right, and there you have it. Look at that, guys. Look how thick and rich that is. That is the equivalent, and I'll show you in a minute, but this is equivalent of 2 of those 15 ounces of soup that you would get in the Campbell's or the Great Value soup cans. Look at that. Cream of mushroom soup.
to you about what you can do with these. So a lot of things you can make with cream of condensed soups. You know, a lot of things, green bean casserole, which is not one of my favorites, but my husband and my son love it, and that calls for cream of mushroom soup, right? Well, my son doesn't like mushrooms, the texture and much of the taste, but he loves cream of mushroom soup well, he loves that green bean casserole, which has that. So that way I can control how big the pieces are, and I can chop them up really fine so that he gets the green bean casserole that he likes. But one, I don't have to buy the store-bought soups. It means I saved money by making it home, as well as avoided the preservatives and the MSGs that are in those soups. And I can control how small the pieces are so the texture doesn't turn him off or affect his enjoyment of the green bean casserole. Again, you can make any kind of casseroles that you would buy those cans for. So if you have a recipe you like squash casserole, even people put it in their dressing for Thanksgiving, you can substitute these cream up soups just like you could those cans. So I hope it was helpful for you. And if you like this recipe and you want the recipes printed out to maybe put in your recipe binder or to have handy during the holidays, make sure you check the link below, because I did link my blog post there. You can go over all three. So these two, cream of celery, cream of mushroom, as well as the basic cream of chicken soup, is in that recipe post. You can open each one of the recipes up and print them, so you'll have them handy. So I hope this is helpful for you. I hope you're watching all the other Saucy September videos. Thank you, Ginger, for hosting and inviting me to participate. Even though this wasn't technically a sauce, I appreciate Ginger letting me teach you how to do it. And I hope you enjoy it throughout this holiday season. So, and the next time, until the next time that I make a video and see you guys, check me out here at mytableofthree on Facebook and on Instagram. And guys, I will see you later.